Hey, what's up, guys? Here we are. We already went over workout A. We're now moving on to workout B in our strength club workout for July. I can't believe it's July already, but here we go, halfway through the year. So we got our templates. You know the drills here. We're going to start with our ramping, and we always start with those hangs because we know this is great for that grip strength, shoulder mobility, decompressing that spine. So I know this isn't everybody's favorite thing, but it's 2 sets of 30 seconds and you're gonna do great. So focus on your breathing here, long deep breaths. Use that breathing tank here. It's actually gonna make it easier for you if you take those long deep breaths, try to hold it for a couple seconds and then slowly push all of that air out. Feel those abs wall up as you're pushing that air out. A good goal would be to try to keep it to anywhere from 2 to 4 deep breaths. If you can get to that place, you're doing pretty well with these. Obviously you can use your legs on the box if you need to for support there as well. Now we're gonna match this up this month with our landmine single leg RDL, which is another one of my favorites for our members because it hits those glutes, gets them firing, also helps you, that bar helps with that balance just a little bit. So we really want to focus on activating those glutes on this one. Remember that on this one, the inside hand holds, the inside leg is the one that's going to be moving back. Getting that soft bend in your knee so it has a bit of a squat feel at the bottom, chest out over those toes, trying to keep that hand as close to your shin as you can. The further that arm gets away from you, the more work on that lower back. So keep it close here. We're gonna get 30 seconds in on one side. Now you can see here I do have some weight on the bar. You can take that weight off the bar or go without any weight. You can add weight to this one. It's not that it has to be super heavy though. I want you to feel like you're in control and you can feel those glutes really firing, especially as you get to the top. If you haven't done this one with us in a while or ever, you are gonna feel this in your glutes the next day as well. So prepare yourself. It's an awesome exercise. So we'll get a set in on each leg, 2 sets on the hangs. Our second group of ramping exercises, we're gonna start with our anti-rotational dead bugs. Again, this one, if you haven't done this before, it's surprisingly challenging because that band's gonna be pulling at you here. So we're gonna get perpendicular to the beam and the band, pushing that low back into the floor. You can see Coach Lynn here reaching with that heel, pressing it out. You want tension in that band. I want you to step out so that you do feel like you are resisting that rotation, and you will notice from one side to the other. When you use one leg, you're gonna feel real stable. When you use the other leg, you're gonna feel like you really have to do that work to keep from rotating. It's an awesome exercise to get all those muscles working for you here. So we'll get a set in each direction. The second exercise here is our square walks. So we're gonna get that band around those ankles or knees, anywhere from the knees down to the ankles. You're gonna take 2 steps forward like a monster walk, a couple steps to the side like that band walk, 2 steps back, and then 2 steps over, making sure that you're keeping tension in that band and keeping those knees pushed apart the whole time. Staying as low as you can is really gonna get those glutes and quads working for you, getting all those muscles firing so that they're ready for the exercise that we're gonna be coming up to next. So 2 sets of those, and then we're moving on to our power and total body work here. So we got swings and ski ergs. So this month, both of our total body groupings are really about getting some speed and power going at the beginning of the workout. So for those swings, we're either doing 5 dead stop swings. So you can see Kat right here, starting from that park position, hiking that kettlebell, keeping those hips down, and then driving those heels into the floor, using those hips and those legs to throw that kettlebell across the room. Notice how she's also stopping it right there at her chest height, making sure it's not going too high here. Now, if you want, you can also do those repetitions. It's gonna be a little bit more ballistic here, sitting into it, driving those heels into the floor. Everything's the same, just a slightly different position and speed to these. But either way, keep the weight lighter than heavier here. Err on the side of lighter so you can focus on crisp reps and really get as much power out of those hips as you possibly can. I don't want you muscling this, trying to get yourself exhausted or something like that. Because then we're gonna go straight from those swings over to our ski erg. We're doing 100 meters on the ski erg like we were working last month. Again, we want to see those times improve if we can. Hard pulls here, reaching for that top shelf, pushing all that air as you're pulling. On this one, you're going to track the weight of those swings, and then you're going to, on the ski erg, you're going to track the time that it takes you to get those 100 meters done. We're going to get 2 sets in. I want you to give yourself, 1 to 2 minutes to recover because I want you to push yourself hard while you're working. Give yourself that time to recover. This is going to get every muscle in the body firing here, all that energy up so that we can move on to our strength sets here. So for our strength sets, again, we're working in a circuit fashion this month. So which just means we have 3 exercises that we're going to work You're going to go through all 3 before you start your second and third sets. Again, we're going to go for 2 to 3 sets, but by weeks 3 and 4, a lot of you are going to be able to get a 4th set in, so you can even start a little bit lighter on the first set if you want to warm up with it, or you can really challenge yourself for those 4, but obviously some days 3 is going to be plenty, so whatever you can get in there. We're going for 8 to 10 reps on these, so again, we want a weight that you can do at least 8 challenging reps. If you can do 9 or 10, don't stop at 8, but if you can do 11 or 12, you definitely need to make that weight heavier, because really what we want to do is find a weight that's heavy for 8 reps, and then over the course of the month, turn that into our 10 rep weight. But I want you to also have that flexibility there to kind of work a weight that feels comfortable for you as well. But make sure that last rep, whether it's 3 reps, 5 reps, 8 reps, or 10 reps, should feel like sort of FML, I'm so glad that this is my last rep. That's what we need to get stronger, so don't be afraid of those heavy weights. So we have our push-ups, deadlifts, and chin-ups this month. Nice and simple. You just get to focus on challenging yourself with those exercises. So obviously with those push-ups, we can use the bars if we need to. You can see Coach Matt here working from the floor. Squeeze those glutes. Deep breaths. Notice how those elbows are pointing at the wall behind him, keeping those shoulders away from his ears here. Nice and controlled on the way up and down here. So 8 to 10 reps. Now, if you need to, you can also use the bar. Obviously, we can adjust that height. Again, just like everything else that we work on, if you're working on the bar, doesn't matter. Don't worry about the number. Don't let the ego get in the way. Use a height that you can get very good reps in, and you will get stronger faster. This is a very hard thing to do sometimes, I know, but sometimes you need to make it slightly easier, and you will get where you want to be faster that way. So just make sure you are focused on your form here. Glutes are squeezed tight, quality reps, chest getting down to that bar if you're using the bar, chest at least below that elbow height on the floor here as well. So 8 to 10 reps there. Then we have our deadlifts here. So we have a couple options, and we have our trap bar. This trap bar is great because it gives you kind of that squat, a bit of that hybrid squat feeling to it as well. We can also load up the weight on these trap bars so we can go heavy on them. Keep those knees pushed apart here. Don't let them cave in on you. Think about almost like you're trying to rotate your feet out to get those glutes working. And then you're going to drive the floor away from you, nice and rigid with that lower back, those abs and that torso. Squeeze those glutes tight at the top here. So it's a deep breath in on the way down. Push that air out as you're driving up on that deadlift here. So we're going to do 8 to 10 here. Now you can also use the kettlebells if you prefer. We got Coach T here working one heavy kettlebell. Again, this position feels a little more comfortable for some people, and that's great. It's also a great way to learn the deadlift exercise, but you can always make deadlifts with a kettlebell very challenging as well, especially if you want to double up on those kettlebells. So getting one kettlebell per hand also can make it a little bit heavier here. Obviously, the limitation just becomes as you go heavier with those kettlebells, you're running out of room for those feet, whereas the trap bar gives you more room. It's a different grip there. So whichever one you want to work on, I was to say, if you've been working the trap bar for a while and you just want to take a break and work the kettlebell, that's fine. If you've been working the kettlebells for a while and you want to try the trap bar, don't be afraid to let a coach know. Just let us watch you do some reps before you go off and do it on your own. And don't be afraid to challenge yourself with the weight once you're feeling comfortable, but especially with deadlifts, err on the side of slightly lighter. Make sure you're feeling good with the weights that you're pulling there. And then our last exercise is our chin-ups. So again, you can use those bands, you can use the bar, whatever you want to work here. We're going 8 to 10 reps. Now, for a lot of you, it's been a while since you've worked 8 reps on those chin-ups, so you might need a little bit more band assistance on this one. Don't worry about it. Use what you need to get 8 quality reps in, at least 8, but don't stop at 8 if you can do 9 or 10 here. Pulling that chest up to the bar. Again, remembering that chin up grip so your palms facing you. You're gonna feel stronger, but it's a little bit more work for those, for the elbow. This can be a little more stressful on those elbows for some. Pull up grip. Not going to feel quite as strong, but it's going to feel a little better on those shoulders and elbows. So whichever grip you prefer, I like to mix it up as well so you get a little bit of variety there as well. So 8 to 10 reps. Again, we're going through those 2 to 3 sets, possibly a 4th. You want to give yourself time to recover. If you can go to the next exercise right away, you definitely did not go heavy enough. You want to feel like when you step away, you want to feel like, man, I need 1 or 2 minutes just to get myself ready to go do the next exercise. So challenge yourself with those weights. That's how you're going to get stronger. And then from there, we're going to move on to our finisher here. Now this month, We're going to take one of the exercises a lot of times we do in the warm-ups and the ramping. We're going to take it to our finish here. So we have our landmine pivot press. So remember, this is about power and speed. It doesn't have to be real heavy. In fact, you shouldn't struggle to get that bar up. But you're going to get that bar. If that bar is at 6 and 12, you want to be facing 9 and 3. Open up through that front leg just a little bit, and then we're pivoting on that back foot, using those hips to punch that bar up. Deep breath in on the way down. Pivot, throw that bar up as fast and as hard as you can. So again, keep this one lighter so that you get speed out of it, and then make sure your breathing's matched up. And always think of this as, we're going to do 5 reps, but I want you to think you're going to do 1 rep 5 times. Don't think I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go 1, 1, 1, right? 5 of those. So give yourself that time to really get ready to make the most out of each rep. So it's 5 on each side. Then we're going to our sled crossover drag, which a lot of you haven't done in a while. This is great for that lateral movement that we want to work on from time to time. Coach Kat's got that shoulder down and away, trying to get that lat locked in, keeping your chest turned toward the wall she's facing. Small steps on this one, especially to get started. Remember, you're going to lean away from the sled, and then you're going to start with some small steps, crossing that front leg, crossing that leg over in front, pushing through both legs. Now, when you go back, you're going to face the same direction, and that way you're going to pull with the other side. That way you're not going to be walking in a circle all day because you worked one side of your body too much, right? So we're going down and back, facing the same direction here. Now, this is going to definitely, it's probably going to be lighter than what you typically do on a push and drag here, because we're getting different muscles working here. So err on the side of being lighter, especially in weeks 1 and 2. Figure out what weights work, but I want you moving with at least a tempo that you don't have to stop pulling one way or the other. So it doesn't have to be fast, but you want to be consistent with that tempo. We're going down and back on that one, and then we're going to finish with that Echo bike. So we got 5 calories on the bike. Again, challenge yourself here. I know at the end of the workout this can be tough, but look at those times that you've been getting on the Echo bike at the end and try to get a couple seconds more. And sometimes the only difference is your willingness to make it hard. Now, I know a lot of you do work really hard, so that's not going to be there for you. It's just going to be the training that's going to help you keep getting better. But if you're someone who's been talking yourself out to really challenge yourself on the bike, give it a try, at least one of those sets, because we're going to get 2 to 3 sets in on this. I want you to challenge yourself, try to get a couple seconds faster if you can. So like I said, 2 to 3 times through that one at the end, and then we're done with this workout. So I'm really excited about these workouts, nice and simple, so that we can really focus on doing them well and getting the most out of those workouts. If you guys do have any questions about the workout, please leave a comment below or reach out to the coaches so that we can answer any of those questions for you. And I hope you're as excited as I am. Okay, let's have a great month, everybody. Love you, bye.